And here we see the final example dealing with the CSS box model. It's explained in the lecture how each element is like a box where you have margins and padding, the actual width and height of a box, and you have to place them. And so once you've gone through all the different formatting that I've shown in the previous lectures, you can actually start experimenting with creating the different boxes and placing these boxes or these different elements or groups of elements in your web page. And that gives the basic structure as you encounter throughout the web, as I'm sure everyone is accustomed to. The different sections for navigation, the header, the footers, the main content, the aside content, and so forth. This code I'm showing here is how you used to do it. As you continue through the course, I'm going to show how you do this with HTML5 and the new semantic tags. But for this example, we're styling, as I talked about in the structure, with div tags and giving them different IDs, giving them a unique identifiers, so you create different groups. So we'll see in the body here, I have div tags. Div container contains everything, given the ID container. And then we have the header, we have the menu, and we have the body, and then we have the footer. So we have these four different divs. A classic structure. I haven't done any really exciting styling. And then I've centered this entire in the middle of the page, as you'll see. So the footer just contains some text, the body has some text, the menu has some menus, and then the header has some text. You know how they typically work. So we'll see the style sheets are going to be a little more complex now because I have to use a bunch of I set the botting, the margin and paddings, and this is having to do with that box model. As to how much space you have around the boxes. And I have to, my div container, I give it a position absolute. You can do positions absolute, relative, and then you can float things. As we'll see, the div menu floats left, for example. I give them color, and I set all the margins left and give them width and height, and so forth. I do this for each of the blocks, the header, the menu, and the body and the footer, setting all these different parameters. And so we get the fantastic appearance of this. Ta-da! And you can see I put boxes around, I put lines around them so you can see each section and box. And then if you're going to do this correctly, you would make these under pages that they link to with the same structure, so that when you click, you can show Aftonbladet inside portions of this and so forth, however you want to do it. Or you would have links to underlying pages. All these links are to separate pages that open in a separate tab, as you see there, and that one. So here's the footer, and you can see it's centered. And then if we see that it's not responsive, that it's fixed, that was position absolute. So I suggest that you experiment with this. You can take this code or write your own code, copy and download it, and test placing things differently, placing things responsive where it's percentage wise, whether it adjusts with the size of the browser or tab window, and so forth. So experiment with that.